Hey, what up, folks? Welcome to Film Focus Page. It's me, and I'm going to be talking to you about Three Bridges Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, the acclaimed new film written and directed by Martin McDonagh and starring Frances Mcdormand, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell, who is on scene-stealing form. Now, this film tells the story of a lady called Mildred Hayes, played by Frances McDormand, whose daughter was murdered several months ago in Ebbing, Missouri. The police officers were unable to find the culprit who did it, and through her frustration and the lack of progress that was made in the case, she goes to drastic lengths and hires three unused billboards in Ebbing, Missouri, and puts these little puts questions on it to shame the police. One of them says, "How come Willoughby?" And Willoughby is the officer played by Woody Harrelson. There was another one that said, "Raped while dying," and this is all in her attempt to help push the police to help find the culprit who was responsible for her daughter's murder. Now, this film has received critical acclaim from the get-go, and it is understandable. Because, when I watch a film or when I hear of a film that has got critical acclaim before it's even been released, sometimes the acclaim isn't justified. On this film, it is. This has to be one of the best films I've seen of the year thus far. And if it wins any Academy Awards, it will be justified. And I think the Golden Globes and the awards that it has won thus far are justified. Because this film is so beautifully acted, so beautifully written, and so beautifully directed. The characters in this film are three-dimensional. You don't have any one-dimensional characters in this film. They are all beautifully written, and each and every character and each and every actor in this film has their chance to shine. Woody Harrelson, who always gives reliable performances in this film, is on excellent dialogue chewing form as Willoughby, the redneck officer who also has another story in this film. He's sadly dying of cancer, and he basically wants to dissuade Frances McDormand's character from taking down the billboards. He's trying to catch a break. He says, we've done everything we can. We're sorry we didn't catch the culprit, but there's no need for you to do this. And also another character who is on scene-stealing form and who has won awards thus far, and I hope that he wins the Best Supporting Actor for this role, is Sam Rockwell, who steals the show as Dixon. The stuttering racist cop in this film who's got a reputation for torturing minorities in prison, beating up minorities in prison, but is a mummy's boy at heart. And at the same time, Woody Harrelson's character, Willoughby, sees the good that is in him and believes that, if you can just be a good person, if you can let go of all the anger and resentment that you're holding on to, you can be a really good police officer and a really good person at that, which I know you can. Also, Frances McDormand in this film, she is on the best form that I've seen her since Fargo, the film which she won her first Oscar for 20 years ago. And I'm pretty confident that she might win another Oscar for this one. She is just so good, and and her character is just so well acted. And this film is billed as a black comedy. And don't get me wrong, this film is very, 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 very funny. But there are also moments of drama, there are also moments of tension in this film, and there are also some touching scenes in this film as well, which really, really got me. This isn't a predictable movie where you know what's going to happen before it happens. No, there are actually some unexpected scenes. I don't want to give you folks a plot spoiler, but there's one scene involving Woody Harrelson's character, and it sends shockwaves all throughout the community. And when you see the emotion that is shown from his colleagues, from Frances McDormand's character, you think, my word, I didn't see that happening. But it was a really, really touching scene. And it was beautifully acted and it was beautifully written. And again, credit goes to Martin McDonagh, who wrote and directed the 2008 hit In Bruges, who's crafted together this beautiful piece of work. And this film has you hooked from the get-go. It has you hooked from the get-go. I mean, this film is an hour and 55 minutes. It doesn't wane in any way, shape or form. It is consistent. It doesn't dip for a moment. And it has some really, really, really good laugh out loud moments and some cracking one-liners in this film. Too many to name. And this is one of those films which I think, I will easily get on DVD. Having seen it, having watched it, and having been talking about it with my friends, I thought, this is a really, really good film. And all the characters have their chance to shine. And also there are additional characters in this film who are really, really good. Peter Dinklage is on cracking form as always, as, the love-struck dwarf who's infatuated with Frances McDormand's character. And also Samantha Weaving, who plays the girlfriend of Frances McDormand's ex. Now, she has some very, very funny one-liners. There's one line in particular that just had me laughing in the cinema, where she didn't know the difference between polo and polio. I don't want to spoil it for you, but you'll see the scene, and it's like near to the end of the film. But with that being said, the soundtrack for this film is beautiful. It captures the South very, very well. The cinematography is excellent. And this, again, is one of the best films of the year thus far. It's won Golden Globes. It's been nominated for BAFTAs. I'm pretty confident that it will be in the Oscars somewhere as well, and it is rightly deserved. But with that being said, there are the standout performances from this film thus far, and everybody has the chance to shine, you know, be it Samantha Weaving's dim-witted girlfriend, but it really, really is Sam Rockwell and Frances McDormand. Their two performances of this film steal the show completely, and I'm pretty confident that it will get Oscars for this one. In the Best Actress, and Sam Rockwell for Best Supporting Actor, because he was that good as the stuttering police detective. You know, and this film is worthy of the acclaim. I think one thing that I didn't really like in this film, which I didn't really get, was that this film was set in the South, and Woody Harrelson's wife had an Australian accent. You know, I don't know why she was put in that film, but with that being said, the film is just off the hook. You know, it's a film that has you gripped from the get-go, thoroughly enjoyable, thoroughly engaging, one to watch. I will give this film a 9 out of 10. I highly advise you to watch it. And this film is one of those rare gems. Whereas in 2018, we've got a lot of high-profile films coming out. We've got The Avengers, we've got Black Panther, Ant-Man and the Wasp, we've got Predator, Deadpool 2. This is a film that has been, you know, those films have overshadowed this film, but this film is still up there. It is up there with the best. It is up there as one of the most enjoyable films you will see, with cracking dialogue, cracking soundtrack. Ticks all the boxes. I'll give this film a 9 out of 10. I highly advise you to watch it. And when it comes out on DVD, I highly advise you to get it on to add to your collection as well. So, that's my review of Three Bridges out of Ebbing, Missouri. Please feel free to comment in my box, subscribe to my channel, and I shall see you on the next film review. Take care.